you have an agency and you're looking to replace yourself, grow a team, or free up some of your time, then this template, this team hiring template, can really help you do that. So the way that it works is that on the left-hand side, you list all of the different tasks or different phases of a project that you've got. So I've got here the different services that we offer, but I'm going to come down specifically to the web build service. So we list all the different phases of the project or particular tasks. And then here we want to list what's the skill level required for that particular task, where a 1 being easy, anyone with a little bit of training could get this done. 2, there's a bit of specialist skills required and specialist training would be required there. And then 3, this is completely specialist. So for example, when we're talking skill number 1, someone like a VA could do it with relatively little training. 2, this could be a web designer or a junior web designer kind of project, or someone who's familiar with WordPress and they need to input content. And then 3, this would be like API integrations or front-end development work. So that's what I mean when it comes to the skill level. Also, I want to attribute this to WP Elevation, well, formerly WP Elevation, now called Agency Mavericks. This was a template that was used as part of their hiring a team course that was about, I think it was first came into contact with this in 2008. Still relevant today. So you list in what level skill this particular thing is, and then how many hours do you or does someone spend on this per day, and then how many times per month does that happen? So let's say if we're in the discovery phase of research, this would require, I would say, a 2-level skill. And when this is done, let's say this takes 2 hours, and then times per month. So this is really like how many new clients do you get per month? Let's say you get 1 per week, and then it would be nice if this calculated automatically, but we'll just put this in here, times per month. So now we've got a total of 8 hours for that particular piece of work, right? So you want to go through and do that for each one of these. So then you'll get an idea around how much time is being spent by a particular person, maybe just yourself if you're solo, on each one of these. So you can see what is the highest contributor to taking your time. And then what we want to do from there is have a look at what's the highest contributor to taking your time, what has the lowest skill level required, or it has a skill level where you can pull someone in. You might have access to a fantastic front-end developer, and that's a skill level 3. It doesn't have to be you outsource all of or delegate or build a team around all your 1 tasks. It's just what are you most likely able to get a result in the shortest amount of time to free up your time. What does that look like? If you don't have a team, if you don't know any team members or anything like that, it might be the things that have high total hours but low level skill. The other thing to take into account, and this isn't listed on the spreadsheet, is what has a low level of risk. Now, I was just on a conversation with some agency owners, and they were having a chat around looking to take the last part of a project, which is the QA, like the quality assurance before something goes live, and having someone come in and do that checklist. I think that's a really great idea, but the challenge is that the risk can be really high. If they don't follow that checklist perfectly and it goes out to a client and you're not part of that process at all, then kind of the buck stops with you. It comes back to you in some way. Whereas if someone is coding a website, if they're building it and they don't do something correctly or in a process you want, but it's still built fine and it still looks fine on the front end, the risk is relatively low because no one's really going to see what happened at that point. Like setting up a staging server, perhaps. If that's something that you do a lot, it's not client facing at all. So the risk is quite low. It's not on a live project. So again, the risk is quite low. Setting up wireframes, the risk would be quite low there too. Set up dev environment, insert content, maybe is quite high, but the skill level isn't particularly high there. Okay, so this is the process. So you unpack all of those things and then you have a look. Is this an assistant job? Am I going to get them to do this particular thing? I'm going to get the developer. designer, marketer, copywriter. Who do I need to hire, or who do I need to give this to in order to get this off my plate? All right, so this is the team hiring template. It'll help to take you from a one-man band or someone who's particularly overwhelmed and in the weeds. It'll just show you where you're spending your time and where you could benefit from outsourcing or building a team around things, so you can spend more time in your sweet spot and help to grow your agency. Hopefully that's helpful. Let me know if you have any questions or feedback. Cheers.